Welcome to the Loaf and Lift podcast. This is the first episode. My name is Brandon, your host.
And I'm Linda, Brandon's partner, and also helping out with the production.
Thank you very much for helping with the production and for coming on today to talk about things with us. It's been tricky, but trying our best as beginners, as amateurs to the scene. So this podcast, Loaf and Lift, is serving as a sort of supplementary. We're going to have semi-frequent episodes to help people and listeners, people that are involved with the Loaf and Life program, with fitness, lifestyle, habits, and mindsets to help you become the best version of yourself. Some things that listeners can expect from this podcast are tips, tricks, and advice from real people like us.
And they can also expect authentic conversations about fitness, as well as stories and experiences.
Hopefully we can get nice stories and experiences from other guests that come on in the future as well. I think that'll be fun. And I think authentic conversations are very important with how fitness nowadays is very glamorized and it's not very authentic when you see people that are just really already at the end of their fitness journey or like got to where they want to be, but we don't see how they started.
There's also lots of body trends that come in and
Body
out.
trends?
Over the years.
Yeah.
Do you know any?
Like beach bodies?
No, like the BBLs and like
Oh,
you want to be like super slim, or now it's like you want to be curvy.
yeah,
These
those
trends
trends
come
are
and
very.
go. I guess this is mainly pertaining to women. I don't know about men
I know
in
that
your
for men,
case.
it's all about building muscle, and that's great. But sometimes the methods that they use can involve additives or drugs, which are not great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will talk about things that are more down to earth, more natural,
More
I guess.
holistic.
More holistic. Yeah, that's a great word to use. So let's get into the first topic of today. So our first topic is, what are our current activities for exercise on a weekly basis? For the listeners at home, we do a lot of things together since we're partners, and that involves exercising as well. And that's something that we think is very, very core, very important to our relationship, and also keeping us healthy. So start us off, Linda, with some things that we do.
Well, the main one that we do very regularly, I would say, is weightlifting. Personally, I go 3 days a week, and then one day is mainly for cardio. I kind of do more full body compared to you, where you have specific days for specific exercises. I guess an example would be I usually start off the week with squats and
Love it.
and then also various like arm exercises such as what do I do? Like cable biceps, preacher curls, and then also focusing on back exercises as well, such as the cable prayers,
Rows.
and the rows. Yeah.
That's great. I go about, let's say, 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes 3, depending on how busy my schedule can get. We sort of program our schedules together, and I help you with setting up what you like to do, and that can change over time with your preferences and what gets stale and what's new and fresh. So we like to work on things and kind of progress and transform our weightlifting over time as well. And I think that's something that's very important for other people to know, is that it's not just going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again, although there is a lot of repetition, but that repetition comes in a form of practice and getting to understand how to do things in the most proper way so that you're getting the most results out of them. So that's great to hear. And I really think that's a good amount of days to go per week, 3 to 4, for more beginner intermediate levels.
And I guess in terms of how long you should be at the gym, there isn't really like a set time, but like in a typical routine of yours, like what do you like do in terms of like, oh, how many sets, how many reps?
I, for myself, usually go by how difficult an exercise is. So, for example, if I'm doing something really difficult like a chest press, I'll do 3 or 4 reps or 3 or 4 sets at my target rep range, and then I'll move on to 2 or 3 other exercises, and that total would be about, let's say, around 9 to 14 or so sets, and that would compromise the full extent of my workout session. And that usually takes about at least 45 minutes to about an hour 15, I think is the average. How about you?
I think I'm similar. Mine are usually starting off with 4 sets, then 3, and then ending off with another 3 sets, depending on the exercise. Because you taught me to start with the hardest exercise, and that's usually like the squats or what is it, the good mornings, which are new for me. So that's been working well. I do like that format, and nowadays I usually end those sets or after the 10 sets I do with some abs.
Right, your ab workouts.
So that's new to my routine. So I typically do 3 sets of the what is it, sit-ups, and then the leg raises. Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll go into these sort of more complex topics in the future episode. Right now we're just kind of teasing what we do on a weekly basis. But there might be a lot of concepts here that people are not familiar with yet, and don't worry about that. We will get you guys started and familiarized with all these topics in the future. Let's go into the next activity we do, walking. So we love a good walk, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. Or we try to walk more than, I don't know, like drive. I mean, it's like a good mix of both, I guess.
Yeah, it can be difficult depending on where you live.
Yeah, where we are isn't too walkable, I would say. But whenever we're, for example, downtown Toronto,
we get a lot of steps.
Yeah, we try to walk
at
around.
Least 10,000 steps, and also weather conditions wise can be a challenge. But we like to do some dedicated walks. It's good for your health. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your mind. So there's infinite amount of benefits to that.
Yeah,
and it's really simple. Most people can walk.
I hope so.
What are some sports that we do?
Well, most recently, we've been playing volleyball on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I've played in the past, but I, stopped doing it. But then now I'm picking it up. You haven't really played as much, I think, compared to me. But it's something that we've both been enjoying. And it's something we do on a weekly basis in the evenings. I mean, it is tiring personally after having to go after work, but it's been fun. It's a nice end to your day, I would say.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you have a job that's like 9 to 5, and then you have your 5 to 9, a lot of times that can get really difficult to sort of go out of your comfort zone and do things that are not something you normally do, or stay at home, just relax and have your own time. And I think this volleyball weekly activity that we do is really conducive to getting out of our comfort zone. We're actually going out and doing some exercise and meeting people and having conversations in between sets and whatnot. And that really, I think, helped with me enjoying the sport, not only for the sport itself, but also for the connections and
the community aspect.
Yeah, that it fosters.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah,
great. We also play ping pong. Her rec center or condo gym has a ping pong table, and that allows us to engage in some friendly competition in between our sets and after our workouts. So that's a really fun way to practice a sport that's indoors, since it is winter. At least it's the tail end of winter now, and it can get quite
intense.
Fierce, quite intense. Even though it's ping pong, and then you're not running around like in a tennis court, but it's a smaller court, and it's still pretty intense.
I would say so. It's fun for me. It's also a sport that I grew up playing and also dropped off, but then now we're picking it back up again. So I enjoy it. I would say I'm pretty good. I
Yeah,
typically
I can see how you're having fun when.
when I'm winning against you at least.
Hey, enough of that.
You know,
Next time I'm gonna win.
yeah, but doubles, that's more new for me. So I think that's been quite fun when we have four players,
Yeah,
since you have to alternate in returning the
it's a bit
ball.
tricky.
Yeah, yeah, it's been good.
Great.
And then coming up, since it's getting warmer, we're eventually going to play pickleball too, right?
I'm so excited for pickleball, to be honest.
Yeah, it's something we picked up last year when we bought a set of rackets. So we enjoy it. To me, it's easier than tennis since you're at a much smaller court, but it's similar in terms of the rules, I guess.
Yeah, we should do a video about pickleball.
What do you mean? Just us playing?
Just us playing, just a game, and see how we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We introduced it to our friends because we have
It's pretty
rackets
good, guys.
and
Get into pickleball.
yeah,
if
they
you
seem to
haven't.
like it.
Try it out. It's easy to self-teach. That's what we did.
Yeah,
So that's what I like.
it's like a mix of tennis, ping pong, badminton ish.
It's all the great racket sports.
Yeah.
It's another great racket sport.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, let's move on to our next question. Linda, how about you give us the next question?
So the question is, what's one key lesson from working out that has significantly improved your training?
It's hard to give just one key lesson, isn't it? There are so many lessons that you learn going through this journey and growing as an individual. One thing I have written here is that moving the weight under control during the eccentric, which is kind of the lowering phase of your lift, has really helped me gain control and more focus and more awareness on how I'm doing an exercise. And that in turn has numerous benefits like being safer, it's more conducive to muscle growth, it's better for not looking like a very egocentric, how to say, like it's, you know, when you're in the gym and you see someone just lifting the weights and like throwing them around.
Like they slam it back
And then they
down
slam
once
it
they're
back.
done
Yeah.
the exercise. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really like that. I feel like it disrespects the atmosphere a little bit. And it can kind of give off the aura that you are not like mindful of your space. So I think that has really helped me with results as well as having more confidence in the gym.
Can you give an example of that? Like when you do an exercise?
Back when I was more of a beginner, I found it very difficult to do pull-ups. So one tip that is very common is that if you can't do a pull-up and you can't pull yourself up, just start at the top by jumping all the way and then lowering yourself down slowly. That part is the eccentric. And that can help you build muscle to get to that first pull-up. So when I was a beginner, I can only do maybe 2 or 3 pull-ups. I would then move on to doing those jumping eccentrics. Negative pull-ups is what people call it. And that helped me build more muscle. And as well, when I'm doing my 2 or 3 pull-ups, I control that eccentric, and that gave me a lot more control, because when you're doing a pull-up, if you don't do it properly, you're going to end up swinging around a lot, and that can affect your grip. And then you're now working a different part of your body that you would not want to work out, and your grip will give out before your back will. So that's one big reason why I think this tip works well for people.
I agree.
Okay, what's your one tip, one key lesson that has significantly improved your training?
I guess my answer would be quality over quantity. I guess this applies to having better form and doing the exercise properly over, caring about like how heavy you're lifting or how many reps you can do. I think as a beginner, you have this assumption that like, the more you can lift, or like the heavier that you can lift and the more that you can do, that means like, I'm stronger. I've made like a lot more progress. But that's not necessarily true. It's very important that when you do an exercise, you have the proper form, because you want to do the exercise to its fullest, right? As you kind of shown me and talked to me about, because this really ties into what you were just saying with the eccentric movement. Is that the right word?
Movement, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I don't know. I think that's what I've learned over my, I guess, almost 3 years of.
3 years. Oh,
Has it
I
been?
think you're coming up on 3 years.
Yeah, coming up on 3 years of starting weightlifting. So, I think I've gotten to a point where I'm just here to go to the gym to maintain this healthy habit and not really worry about, how heavy I'm lifting, how many reps I'm doing. I just want to have a good fulsome exercise.
Good wholesome exercise. Yeah, that's great. That's a great tip. The quality is important because with anything you're doing, right, like sports or learning, you can't just learn something and take a textbook and learn all of it in one night. You need to go by step and really get the basics down before you can move on to the next level. And people forget that is the same when it comes to weightlifting and fitness. So that's a great tip.
Thanks.
So the next question is, what is one key lesson outside of the gym that has improved your training? I'll go first. For me, making things easy encourages consistency. So what I mean by that is that as easy as something can get will make it almost second nature. Something very easy to do won't have much resistance when it comes to you doing it. Something like having a glass of water out in the morning. When after you brush your teeth and you drink a glass of water and now you're hydrated. That's very easy to do versus if you did not have that glass of water, maybe you had to walk around the corner and grab a bottle of water from the convenience store. That would be a lot more barriers to entry because you would have to, in order to get hydrated there, you would have to change out of your PJs and put on your shoes, go down the elevator or go out of the front door of your house and walk around and then purchase a bottle of water. So that's one thing that I think makes it easy for me to improve my training is that I have a gym downstairs in my condo, and if I wanted to work out, all I have to do is go down an elevator and voila, I'm there. I don't need to drive or go outside. I can just stay in my building, and that has improved a lot. But there are other numerous ways to make it easy for yourself and to improve that consistency. So you just have to find things that you can do to improve and make things easier for yourself. That's like the core thing of life. If you make it harder on yourself, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And why would you intentionally make something hard on yourself when you can intentionally make it easy? Right?
Yeah. I guess for me, when I was starting out with my with working out in general, I had you to kind of lean on. So I guess it ties in with having someone to go with, someone who knows more than I do about working out. So that was really helpful in the sense that like you'll come over, and then I also have a condo gym, so I also have that luxury of just going down the elevator or the stairs, and then I'm there. So having someone go with you to show you the different exercises, how to do them properly, is very encouraging because it's much less pressure than going by yourself, having to figure out what certain equipment does. It definitely makes it much more comfortable being in that type of environment. So if you do have someone that works out, or someone that wants to also start working out, then I think that's a very good way to do it together and keep each other accountable to show up.
Yeah, that's a great point that you brought up at the end there. You don't have to go with somebody that knows everything. You can go with your friend and we can figure things out together.
Yeah.
There's all different paths. So whether or not you want to sign up for a personal trainer with Loaf and Lift, or if you want to call your friend up and sign up together, or go just you two, that's totally fine. All of those are great ways, and getting connected with your friends and other people can make things a lot less anxiety inducing. It can sort of increase your confidence and sort of not have you in the mindset of being worried about what other people are doing and how they're perceiving you, and focus more on how you and your friend or you and your personal trainer are working towards improving yourself and your skills in the gym.
Yeah, and I guess something else that helps me is to add to my calendar when I'm going to the gym. That's something that I find really helpful. Because for me, I work hybrid, so some days I go to the office, and which is mainly 2, and then the 3 days I'm home. So on the days I am home, I do go to the gym, and I have that on my calendar, so I know that once my day is over, I should head to the gym. And then I guess something I do during the day to make it easier for me to go would be to kind of put on my gym clothes earlier on, or in a way that I can easily change once it is time for me to go. You know, because you're working from home, right? People don't see the bottom half.
Tricky. I see.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah,
those are some excellent tips. Yeah, we can expand on those later for people working from home, people working hybrid, people working in the office. There are a lot of strategies you can do that are tailored to each.
Yeah.
Great. So the next section, I just wanted to let listeners know why we started the Loaf and Lift podcast. I mentioned it earlier how this is supplementary to the Loaf and Life program, and how we are building this program for beginners and intermediates and anybody that is unsure of how to start their fitness journey, people that need some support, need some guidance, unsure of how to do things, but they also want to balance their life and not make this sort of their entire life. They want to have other hobbies and go out with friends and things like that. And fitness can be integrated in that type of lifestyle very easily. So if you're interested in getting started with that, keep listening, follow us, and we'll help you get there. All right, the next topic is upcoming content ideas and plans. So as a very new business, we are still figuring out things and how we want to structure our program. So my question to you is, what are your favorite types of videos to watch for each format? So what I mean by that is, we know that there are different formats nowadays, like shorts and TikTok reels. There are shorter tutorials that are 5 to 10 minutes long. There are more webinar style or lecture style, which are range anywhere from like 20 minutes to over an hour. So Linda, what are some type of contents that you like to watch when it comes to fitness?
I think for me, it's different in the sense that I had you to help me get started and show me everything. There are occasions where I would look up videos on how to do a certain exercise that you had, recommended me to do, and you already showed me. But, I don't always go to the gym with you. So when I go by myself and the exercise that I'm doing, I'm not so sure on the form, I like to just look it up on YouTube and see how others are doing it, and then try to follow it from there.
That's a great tip. I think something that we are looking to do is an exercise repository. So I will be making a whole library of different exercises that we recommend and how to do them. So that will come. Great. Something that I like are tutorials, which are 5 to 10 minutes long, and there's just a short YouTube video on how to do something, or a different concept, or nutritional tips, or things like people's experiences with, let's say, whey protein or creatine or other supplements that might help them, or how they incorporate more protein into their diet, or how they discover this new exercise and they want to share it with other people, and how to do it. So those are some things that I like to do. For the listeners at home, I want you guys to let me know what type of content you would like to see and what other content you would like to watch.
Okay. I'll be listening too.
Okay, great. All right, we are nearing the end of the episode. So next time, we will be talking about another topic.
All right, so next time we'll dive into fitness myths and what not to do when starting out.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of positivity and things that we we've been doing what works for us. So I'm curious to hear what we have next on what not to do and what mistakes and pitfalls we fell into as a beginner. Great. Follow us at Mr. Loaf of Life on YouTube and Instagram. Link in the description below. Please follow us on this podcast and subscribe. Leave a review if you'd like. And yeah, reminder to comment with your preferred content style. Or you can tell me your fitness struggles. You can let me know anything. Just, yeah, engage. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we will see you next time.
We'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.